We are back on the air. My name is Jeffrey Davis. I'm host of Radio Entrepreneurs. I've been having a great time since the new year started. All these entrepreneurs, thanks to Ian Motha and his hard work and the team's work and all your requests and linking in with all of us to learn about the show. My co-host today, always enjoyable, John Dustin, JED Insurance.
Jeff, great to be back here.
Hey, why don't you do like the Jets? You know, they go Jets, Jets. It's John Dustin, JED. We should do the same thing.
Do something like that.
And we get an outfit with a guy paint them green or something.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll work it on. Our next guest, after that stupid insertion by me, is Liz Asai from Derm Systems. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Tell us, I just saw your phone. That got me right from the start. Tell us about Derm.
Yeah, so we originally started as a engineering team back in 2011. We were building all sorts of medical devices. And at a certain point, we found out about a competition that was offering big prizes for any sort of innovation at primary care. And what we came up with as our kind of initial brainstorm is, what if we were able to take pictures at primary care that were so good that dermatologists could read them, and then patients could get into a dermatologist that much faster. So we, after the brainstorm, we entered the competition. We won some initial money just to kind of kick off the idea. And what we ended up building was a 3D skin camera that could take images of some sort of skin concern, maybe a rash or a weird looking mole, that they would see at primary care. They would forward it to a dermatologist, and the dermatologist would be able to say, yes, this patient needs to come in immediately. I can see them tomorrow at 4. Or they would say, this is a completely benign age spot.
How wonderful. I mean, I can think of, I don't want to make names because they'll lock me out of the house, but I can think of 2 times this year where things have happened to the skin of members of my family, and they've like run around like chickens thinking what's going on.
Yeah,
and they could
it's scary.
So who hires you?
Yeah, so we get hired by groups of primary care physicians who want to offer this sort of service. And we go in, we implement the technology. It's a camera at primary care, and then we give the software to dermatologists to make sure that they can read it, and then we just make sure the whole system works.
Wow.
So do you have, you don't have somebody on site. You basically train them, relieve the equipment to them, and then it's up to them to utilize it. And
Yeah, in building the technology, a key design insight was that the user doesn't necessarily need to be trained intensely in order to use it. So
Because it's a camera.
Yeah, it's a camera. The instructions are really
Point and
easy.
shoot.
Yeah, everything is 1 or 2 clicks. So it's something where we train expert users for about an hour and a casual user for 5 to 10 minutes.
So how are you, the medical community with all the sort of mergers and acquisitions has become more and more limited. How are you getting in front of the primary care physicians that you want to sell this to? Are you looking at individual groups, hospitalist groups? Who are you?
Yeah, so we sell more to the larger hospital groups and health systems that might have a few different primary care clinics underneath an umbrella organization. So we'll sell to the health system, who will be looking at how do they reduce costs while offering better quality of care for their patients. And for them, it makes sense to put this at each of their primary care locations. And then it's more talking to each of the physicians, getting them comfortable with the technology, and showing them the benefit of using the system.
What was the sort of process to get it approved? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a multi-year process. So we started doing the development back in 2010 was our first run at the engineering side of this. And then over the last 6 years, we've done 3 different clinical studies, really to try to show, is this as good as seeing a dermatologist in person? Because if it's not, then you really should just go see a dermatologist. So over the 3 studies, we continue to refine the hardware to make sure that the imagers were taking the correct images. And each study, we had dermatologists see patients in person, and then we had different dermatologists see just the images, and we compared their responses.